Happy New Year 2024. I am thrilled about this video because it's all about how to change your mindset to start receiving success in 2024. Live your best life ever. So you're going to change your mindset to transform, to receive those results. And I'm so excited to bring you this knowledge today. I am Veronica Isles, and I am someone who personally transformed my entire life. I was at rock bottom. I had no money. I worked so many jobs, unexpected expenses all of the time. I feared I would never get out of the cycle of being exhausted all the time, burnt out, working for other people, never getting to do the things that I wanted, never getting to travel, never having a home of my own. I never even had a car for most of my life. Now I drive my dream car. I travel the world first class. I live in my dream home. I get to have all of these experiences. My life is so beautiful. And I came from, again, the lowest of the lows. So I get asked this question, what exactly did you do to transform your life? When honestly, nothing in my life at that time was working. Like I was 300 pounds. I might have even weighed more. I wasn't even weighing myself. I was always rejected in love. Like I was burnt out, feeling awful, unhappy all of the time. So how on earth did I break free from all of this and transform into what I am living today? Because I want to help you do the very same thing. And these steps within this video are going to give you an exact blueprint of what to do, what not to do. So grab a pen and paper, take some notes, watch till the very end because you're not going to want to miss a single step. And if you need my one-on-one support, I urge you to enroll in my Manifestation Accelerator program, which I am so excited about. And it comes with a bonus 10-minute coaching call when you enroll now. Details on that are at studywithveronica.com. Don't hesitate. This deal will not be available forever. In fact, my personal coaching could go away at any given moment. It may even be gone already. So don't miss. Check it out. Enroll in my free program too. And let's get you the exact help that you need to tweak your technique, to get your results, to step out of the drudgery that you've been experiencing, and to start living your wildest dreams. So first, we're going to start with the things you should do. Then we're going to go to the things you should not do. And again, don't miss a single step. So first step, and this is the most important, is to stop reacting to your current set of circumstances. Your circumstances are temporary. They are not permanent. They are not who you are. So start deciding your emotional well-being, how you want to feel inside, how you want to think of yourself based on the ideal, not based on the current set of circumstances. So yes, everything might be going wrong in your life right now. Maybe nothing is working. But that does not mean you have to feel awful about yourself or hopeless about the future. You can choose to feel any way you want inside. The only way you're going to turn your life around, the only way you're going to deliberately manifest better, because deliberate manifestation is just choosing your thoughts, your feelings, and assumptions with purpose, with intent, with clarity. So we're going to start basing how we feel inside on what we ideally want to experience, not basing what we feel inside as a reaction to what we're currently experiencing in life. Like you are not forced to feel bad because everything around you is not working right now. Like that is a lazy approach. And if you want to succeed in life, you got to stop being lazy. You got to stop procrastinating. You need to start deliberately choosing your emotional well-being and how you feel about yourself, again, on the ideal, not on the failures. You are not your circumstances. You are not a failure. You are not destined to live this way forever. So you choose your thoughts, your feelings, and assumptions based on the ideal and based on how you want to feel inside, how it would feel lovely inside. Like you choose a calm inside, a comfort, a love, because you connect with those things deliberately. You are absolutely allowed to do this. And yes, it is true that things will not change immediately, but if you persist in this feeling, they will change and they will change profoundly. And this is how you achieve transformation. The next step is self-awareness. Start noticing your current patterns of thought instead of ignoring them because you think that they're so bad and so poor that you want to pretend like they're not happening. Let's start becoming aware of what the heck you dwell upon all day long. So you begin to reflect on areas of life and patterns of thought that may be holding you back. And you start questioning why on earth you put so much faith in these things. And the reason probably has been because, well, that's what you've always experienced before, but the past does not define the future. Let me say that again. The past does not define your future. Your future is defined by the now. The now. You can choose anything you want right now. So you start understanding your current patterns of thought, what you think about, why you think about it. Start really forming some awareness, some mindfulness on what is going on inside of your mind. Next, start identifying negative thought patterns. So you recognize things that are recurring. And you can do this by recognizing statements that you make about different things in your life. You tend to make the same statement, like, I will never have love, I will never have money. Maybe this is simplistic, but are you making a particular idea or assumption about multiple areas of your life? Maybe even something as simple as saying, I will never have that. I will never be good enough for that. I will never be special enough to be loved. I will never be special enough to hold a high paying job. See what I'm saying? It's a theme of not feeling worth it, not feeling special enough, not feeling good enough. So again, we recognize self-doubt, fear of failure, things that could be holding you back. No mindset is fixed. If mindsets were fixed, I never would have broken through my circumstances. I never would have broken through what I was existing in. If you would have seen me then, you would have thought I was in a dead end and I was destined to live that way my entire life. But I broke through because I changed what was inside of me, and the world around me had to change. Now, when you catch yourself thinking negatively, don't automatically condemn yourself and say, I wasn't supposed to say that, and try to pretend like you didn't say it, or pretend like you're erasing it from your mind, or you go through like a ritual of rubbing it out or saying, erasing it, clearing it out. Let's not do any of that. Let's not get mad at ourselves and say, well, all of my good manifesting work has been undone now because I engaged in a negative thought. Instead, let's be very nurturing, very supportive to ourselves and just say, well, maybe next time I don't put nearly as much faith in that idea. But you sort of catch yourself in that moment. You notice the negative thought pattern, the negative idea. You choose to not put so much faith in it. In fact, you could even make the association that the negative idea is meaningless. Like if you put less fear on this idea of having to avoid thinking of something, you'll find you tend to think about it less. So if you make negative thoughts less scary, less having power over you, like you'll probably have less negative thoughts. So when you have a negative thought or idea, don't jump to replacing it with 10 positive ones. Instead, let's mindfully take control of the situation. Ask yourself why you did that. Decide that it really has no power over you. Let it float away, gone, meaningless. Now, another thing that you can do is choose to embrace more empowered thought processes in your mind. Now, you could call this affirmations if you want, but I don't want you to get stuck in the idea of saying a ton of affirmations every day that have been written down and you just say it without any feeling at all. Like you want emotion and purpose to be attached to every thought process in your mind. So you want to say statements that feel at one with your natural self-talk, that are empowered, that are beautiful, that are very spontaneous. Because if we think about it, like our thought process is very spontaneous, it's very much within the moment. So you decide to deliberately choose empowered ideas that are at one with your harmonious and best life ever. So you really say to yourself, well, I'm going to put faith in the ideas that align with my perfect life ever. And if you notice yourself getting on board with an idea that doesn't harmonize with your best life ever, again, don't get mad at yourself. Just make the effort to choose better next time. And it will be enough. Like that will be enough to create change. Now, again, we do not create these positive affirmations or these positive modes of self-talk to replace the negative ones. We let the negative ones heal and go away naturally. And then you will find that more empowered trains of thinking feel that much more at one with you and feel that much more realistic. Now, I would urge you to visualize your perfect life, to grant yourself the ability to do this. Stop living in fear and saying, well, I'm afraid to imagine that because I am afraid of getting my hopes up and then having it not happen and being disappointed in the end. The only way your life is going to change is if you visualize the best. You allow yourself to explore these ideas in your mind of what the best would look like. My life didn't really take off until I started practicing visualization. I did it daily when I started my manifestation process, and I would just visualize whatever came to mind. I would not visualize the same thing every day, but I would just visualize whatever came to mind, whatever felt fun and free and without any kind of limitations. And this idea of me being able to get to walk in my best life ever without any constraints of money or failures or any sort of the hardships that I was currently experiencing. So I just imagined myself spending money, being loved, laughing, traveling, and that's exactly what I am experiencing now. So I urge you to dare to dream big. Again, things that align with you, not what you think is within the realm of what you can reach, but actually what you want. Now, I also want you to practice a lot of mindfulness and meditation. So, mindfulness just means paying attention to what you are thinking during the day. I know you may have a hectic and a busy schedule, but this does not mean you cannot practice mindfulness. So, if you cannot implement positive things, let's just avoid putting passionate faith in the thought processes that do not serve you. So yes, you may get stressed, and that's okay. Like getting stressed at work, like that's not going to take away your ability to manifest things that are good. Manifestation is not based on being positive and putting on a happy face all of the time. Yes, optimism helps, but I want it to be honest and real. So during the day, like if you feel stressed, just feel in control of that stress. Feel empowered inside. Feel like you can be in control of it instead of this idea that it's overwhelming and overcoming you and messing up your manifestation because you're no longer being positive. So let's just take the power back. I want you to also be open to learning. We manifest through learning and growing. So let's embrace things that have to be overcome with this idea that there is knowledge to be contained within them. So we do not look at your current set of circumstances as just this awful thing that you are being put through. Instead, we look towards knowledge and growth. And if you fall down, you just get back up with the new knowledge that you've learned and you try better again. Like you do not just fall down and stay down. You do not use that as a sign that you're not supposed to succeed. You just keep gently tweaking your technique until you, in fact, get there. Like people that are successful, it's not because everything went smooth for them. It's not because they never encountered challenges or setbacks. It's because they kept sort of picking themselves up, motivating themselves again, and learning from their mistakes. So they learned instead of trying the same thing over and over again and expecting a new result, like they learned and they adapted where it was needed and they just kept moving forward. Now, I want to say that nothing ever changes through force or will. You will never, in fact, change your life through forcefully trying to change these circumstances. It all starts from within, and we take inspired action by doing things that feel at one with our best life ever, not something that feels forced or strained or exhausting, but something that feels passionate, loving, free-flowing, easy. Like those are the steps to take. So take logical steps that feel at one with your best life ever, and those will be the steps of inspired action. Let's also embrace healthy habits. Let's exercise, let's eat well, let's treat ourselves well. This will help improve your mindset and how you feel about yourself, because when you're taking care of yourself, you're going to naturally feel better and make better decisions and feel more calm, less anxiety, and more in control of your life. Again, we reflect and we adjust as needed. And that is the way that you break through your circumstances. And that is the way that you break through towards the kind of life you truly want to be living. You visualize success. You remain adaptable. You just remain optimistic. You try things like meditation to maintain a sense of calm. You feel empowered inside. You feel strong. You feel capable of overcoming things. You feel capable inside of gaining knowledge and getting stronger and truly succeeding. And it all starts with an idea. Self-reflection is the key to ongoing transformation and to your success. All right, let's get to the things that you should avoid. This is almost more important than the things that you should do. So take notes, watch till the very end, don't miss a single step. And again, if you want my one-on-one support, studywithveronica.com Manifestation Accelerator program. It is my latest program. It is all on speeding up your manifestations. 50 lessons, 50 videos, tons of affirmations, tons of exercises for you to do. Like there's so much content in this program. In fact, it is my most in-depth program ever. Then there are exclusive videos. And this is the program that I'm most proud of. Get my 10-minute free bonus coaching call as well. Sign up for my weekly coaching calls. Let's do this together. Let me cheer you on every step of the way. Okay, so things to avoid. Self-talk that is negative, that is cruel, that almost acts as like a bully. If you would not talk to someone that you love in this way, Why would you talk to yourself in this way? So let's really avoid needless criticism that just feels like bullying. If you want to align with your best life ever, if you want to change your mindset to transform in 2024, you cannot be cruel to yourself in your mind. Like it'll just send out the signal to the universe that you're not worth it, that you're worthless, that you expect to be disappointed and to be a failure in the future. If you want things to change, start nurturing yourself in your mind, being kind, being really aware of this kindness. Now, the next thing is try not to resist change. If you are trying to manifest transformation, that means change is going to happen. And sometimes things have to be shaken up a little bit in order to get to the change that you truly prefer. So let's be open to changes, scheduled changes, new routes, new flavors, new choices. Like that, let's just be open to newness in our world. And let's also embrace every single change that comes our way with the idea and the assumption that it is leading me closer to my highest good. Like if a change comes up that was unexpected, don't make the assumption, oh my God, it's not working because it looks like now I'm further away from my goals. Instead, let's take the assumption that this is somehow helping me, this is somehow assisting me, this is somehow guiding me faster towards what I truly want. Again, we give up the hows. We don't sort of analyze how we get to this transformation. We just know it's possible. We know it's possible to live our best lives ever. So let's not make the assumption that things are not working in your favor. Life is for you, never against you. Another thing that's important to avoid is to think that results are going to happen instantaneously. And if they haven't happened instantaneously, that means you're not going to get it. That means it's a manifestation fail. Like manifestation doesn't work that way. I didn't get to where I am today because I was expecting instant results. In fact, when I first embarked upon this journey, it wasn't because I really had all that faith that it was going to work at all, because I'd never seen this work before in my life. I was just sort of drawn to this knowledge because I figured it was something to try out, and why not? Like, what did I have to lose? But in all honesty, like there was no way I could fully believe that it was going to happen or that it was going to work because I had never seen that happen before. I had never had actually good things happen to me like that before in my life. So I didn't really have a lot of evidence to support that this was going to work. So it wasn't that I believed 100% that it would work. But the fact is that I decided to try it out wholeheartedly, and I didn't give up when it didn't happen the next day. When no results were evident the next day and my bank account was still in the negative, like I didn't say, oh, well, it's not working. I decided to take the assumption that it still was working. And I decided to still feel different and better inside because that's how I wanted to feel for me. Like I was done feeling lousy. I was done feeling like a failure. I decided I wanted to embrace success, transformation, a new mindset because it felt better. It felt different. So I started doing all of the things that I described in the first portion of this video, and I didn't give up. Like I didn't take the assumption, oh, it's not working, I'm just going to stop, because it didn't happen within the first 3 days. And I don't see anything changing. So I'm just going to throw the towel in and say, well, manifestation sucks. Like I never did that. So if you want this to work, do not expect instantaneous results and take the assumption that everything is working for you. Thus, it must catch up to your new way of being. Definitely avoid overloading yourself. So when you learn about manifestation and you learn that you can take control of your life and your outcomes through simply tweaking what is going on inside of you, you tend to get excited and then like you want to visualize all of the time and you want to say affirmations all of the time and you really want to dig wholeheartedly in this. And you know what? It's wonderful to be determined and to want this to work, but it's going to work best when it can be a natural kind of thing that is complementing your life, almost like it is what you are becoming in a natural state. A natural state of being is not like visualizing for the greater portion of your day. So you're no longer sort of living life. So definitely avoid having this become so consuming and feeling like I need to be positive all the time or otherwise it won't work. If you take on that attitude, you're going to never allow yourself to relax. And then suddenly, even if you feel good in that moment, you're going to end up crashing down and feeling really burnt out, really exhausted, and not wanting to continue on with this because it will feel like something that requires so much effort on your part and you haven't seen results yet. And you figure, well, why even bother with this? So I don't want you to exhaust yourself or burn yourself out. A little goes a long way. We are looking for long-term results that in fact are steady and build momentum. When you do sort of a little bit of it at a time, baby steps, you kind of gently implement this in your life, it becomes your life. And then the transformation is real. It's not something that you are just doing at certain parts of the day that feels exhausting and overwhelming, and then you kind of crash down the rest of the day. No, it becomes who you are. You become the transformation, and thus the results are inevitable. They are steady. You build momentum. You feel better. The happiness is natural. Like the feeling better is supernatural. Like the feeling better is just natural and easy and flowy, and you feel excited. But again, it's a natural excitement. It's not like a pressure upon yourself to, in fact, go so overboard that you burn out. Like that's not what successful manifestation is, because it's not a realistic look at the end result. You might have heard like the end result. The end result is when I have this amazing life. I have my dream life. I have my dream relationship, money, the way I want to look. Well, none of that implies you are doing manifestation techniques 24/7. Instead, you're living your life. You're living the dream. So let's imply that by having the state of mind transform so naturally and so easily, and the rest just kind of flows as an extension. So do not burn yourself out. No more overloading yourself. Let's definitely also avoid obsessing about the past and what you could have done, what you felt you should have done. Instead, let's learn from the past, let's grow. But honestly, the past is in the past. And again, the past does not define your future. So whatever you could have done then, like the results you want right now are not restricted from you. They're not unavailable to you. The things you want are still possible. So whatever happened in the past, it does not matter. So that's why freely choose to let the past go. It's not who you are anymore. It does not define you. It does not permanently put into motion what you can experience for the rest of your life. Like just because you had a failed business before in the past does not mean that every business you start will in fact fail. I mean, I had so many failed businesses. Now I run a very, very, very successful business. So, the past has nothing to do with the future. I don't care how many times you've had failed relationships. That doesn't mean that's what you are destined to have your entire life. So let's stop fixating on the past. Let's stop identifying it as who we are. The past failures may feel like part of who you are. And, existing in those memories and those ideas may feel familiar. But let's freely choose to let that all go. That is not who you are. The suffering you went through is unfortunate and it's sad, and try to forgive it, but it is not who you are. It is not what you're supposed to think about. Instead, think about what you want to receive in the future, not where you've been. Think about where you're going, not how you got to this moment right now, but where you're going. Another important point is to avoid procrastination. Everything I'm talking about in this video, like, what are you waiting for? Why can't you do it right now? Like, I don't care how busy your schedule is. You can at least implement a little bit about what I'm talking about. And if you start to implement a little bit with the time that you do have, it will be enough. You do not need to wholeheartedly do it all to get results. So I don't want you to think that you have to put this off until you have more time. Like, tell yourself, well, I'm going to try manifestation when I have more time. No, you're going to try it right now because you're already manifesting. So clearly you already have time for manifestation. You've just been manifesting in the wrong way. So no more procrastination. No more. You're going to decide to put yourself first. Take a few moments every day to just focus on what I've been talking about. You are worth it. Your peace of mind is worth it. Your happiness is worth it. No more procrastination. Likewise, no more trying to think you have to be perfect. Manifestation, deliberate manifestation, successful manifestation, people who are wildly successful do not have perfectionism. Perfectionism is really just an idea anyway, like it doesn't actually exist. Like perfect is in the eye of the beholder, is in, your mind. Like you do not have to be like the perfect weight or look the perfect way in order to have love. You do not have to be perfectly knowledgeable or studied in this way to have your ideal job. Like, let's throw out this idea of perfectionism. It does not mean you don't strive to be your best. What I'm trying to get at is perfectionism does not equal results. Have you ever heard someone play the piano in their textbook perfect. Like think about like a computer playing a piano piece and it's technically perfect. But is it as good as watching a pianist, a real person right in front of you, play that piece from his heart or her heart and soul? And maybe yes, they make a few technical mistakes, but doesn't it have more heart and more passion and more soul and more beauty within it than the computerized version that was technically perfect? See what I'm getting at? So it's time to embrace confidence, a love of who you are, and that will be perfect. Like you do not need perfectionism. Like you do not need to say the same amount of affirmations every single day to get results. Like the idea of perfectionism or requirements or any kind of prerequisites before you can get on board with this idea of manifesting your dream life. Let's throw it all out the window. Let's take a relaxed approach, and I guarantee you your success will be inevitable. Let's also step out of our head a little bit and stop overthinking. Let's instead connect with our emotions and that love within you, that little voice within you that says everything is going to be okay. So we avoid that negative voice that kind of wants to pick things apart and analyze things to death and refuses to form faith because it can't figure it out. Let's surrender. Let's let go. Let's give this transformation over to the highest and most creative part of you, your higher self, God within you. Let's sort of just let go of that voice that wants to overthink this and analyze this and obsess over how it happens. So we're letting that all go freely. That is not taking the lazy approach. That is not doing nothing. You might think, well, if I do that, then I'm doing nothing, but you're actually doing everything. Like you overthinking is going to block the energetic flow of receiving results because you will no longer have that inspiration or that inspired action if you are overthinking and obsessing about things. Now, last but certainly not least, and I could really do a follow-up to this video because there are so many important tips and things that I personally did. I did all of this. That's how I got to where I am today, and I want you to experience the same results. But you definitely want to avoid, and this is most important, is a poor self-concept. If you have a low idea of yourself or what you think you can have, you will never in fact achieve results because your self-concept will be so poor that you will only ever become a magnetic match to the things that you don't want. Now, this is not to say that you should condemn yourself or feel bad about yourself because you've only experienced disappointment, heartache, and failure before in the past. This does not mean, oh, woe is me, I must have had a horrible self-concept, and then you feel even worse about yourself. We want to step you out of that. We want to kind of pull you from that and instead embrace this idea of love and nurturing and kindness and support. So let's really take an honest look at our self-image and what are ways that we can improve our self-image. As I talked about before, this kindness, this kind self-talk, that automatically will improve your self-image. And honestly, your self-image is wholly belonging to you. And I cannot tell you how freeing that was when I first discovered this idea, that it was wholly mine. It wasn't based on what I had done before in my life. It wasn't based on what other people thought of me or what I feared other people thought of me. It was not based on my failures. It was based on me, what I wanted to feel in this moment. As I talked about before, I felt the way I wanted to feel for me, and that had to do with self-image. Like I was refusing to reinforce this idea that I was a failure because I had been a failure all of my life. So your self-image, self-worth, confidence levels, how you feel about you get to choose. No one chooses for you. I guarantee you, if you can start opening your eyes to this, everything will fall into place in 2024 and beyond. I am Veronica Isles, studywithveronica.com. Manifestation Accelerator program, highly recommended. My latest course, I'm so thrilled about it. One-on-one coaching, get the bonus call. Sign up for weekly calls with me. Enroll in my free course too, don't miss that one. I'm wishing you all of the success in the world.